Hello, everyone. Let me check that my settings are okay. Let me give you all access to the chat. And let me see who's in. Can you let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay? So if you see my lips moving with no sound, I'm guessing you'll tell me. Yes, you can hear me. Awesome. Hi, Kent. Hi, Luke. I see Mark and Shamir are also here, and Mauro. Oh, lots of people joining. Sofiane. Adam is here as well. And Florian will join us in a second. I hope you're all doing well. If you want to start asking your questions in the Q&A box, go for it. So for those of you who are attending for the first time, it's a 1-hour session with our CPO, Florian. And we go through all the questions, we try to go through all the questions you ask in the Q&A section. When we don't have time to, we try to prolong the conversation in the WeWeb community. So in the chat, it's kind of to chat amongst ourselves. But if you have a question, please use the Q&A box. And Ken is saying you have a question about capturing data from a URL that, yeah. So if you can just add it in the Q&A section, that way I'll just you'll be able, I'll promote you as a panelist at one point and you'll be able to share your screen. All right, Florian just joined. Let me promote him to panelist. Yeah, no worries, Kent. It's just because the chat sometimes can get a little bit busy, so I might miss some questions if you post them in the chat. Although I try not to. Hi, Flo. How are you doing?
Hey, Joyce. Hi, everyone.
All right, let's start with Luke's question. I'm looking to extend. I'm gonna add Luke as a panelist and then read out the question. So I'm looking to extend something like the WeWeb Academy to be a full-on learning management system. First thing I want to accomplish is a quiz option. Okay, I'm thinking of a pop-up with multiple choice, but want to know if there is a better option template that might already exist. All right, hey Luke.
Hi, Joyce. Hey, Flo.
Hey, Luke.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
You?
Good.
Nice. Did you already start working on a design, or did you want to share your
Oh,
project to work on a design together, or was it just kind of a general question? Or...
it was more of a general question. I mean, this
Okay.
is kind of what it looks like so far. Like there is a couple of like courses. This is obviously very similar to the WeWeb Academy. I'm gonna do some like better UI things, but in terms of functionality, like the plan with this is to add essentially like lesson plans. So our company is DIY electric skateboard kits. So obviously like selling to summer camps and schools and so forth. This is just like the assembly tutorial of putting it together, and we have a contract with an outside partner. But with this, we're starting to develop curriculum as well. So I'd like to have, obviously going to integrate like Stripe to be able to monetize it and sort of that sort of thing. But with these lesson plans, there's going to be, like quizzes or, student
Mhm.
assessments or learning assessments. Yeah, I haven't started anything with it. I was just kind of asking if like there's anything, any templates that already exist that might be able to go off of. But if not, like what would be your approach to having a quiz? Like, do I need to make a new page or can it be a modal? Is there like drag and drop even elements I'm able to use, or if that's all going to be something I'll have to try to figure out?
So in terms of templates, I don't think we currently have a template for a quiz. It could be a nice one actually. We have a multi-step form template that might be helpful in terms of depending on the UI, like the UX you wanna try out. Otherwise, I guess it's more of a UX question than a WeWeb question in terms of approach. What do you think, Flo?
Yeah, it depends what you want to do in the complexity of the quiz. I guess this is more the question. Do you need some dynamic questions depending on what you answer on the first thing? Do you need to display something else depending on the answer? So I guess the complexity will lead to different approach. different approaches. So yeah,
I
there
think,
is
sorry.
yeah. So go on, Joyce.
No, I was gonna say, I think maybe I would recommend like writing out your quiz to get started, like building out your quiz on, pen and paper or in a doc or whatever. And maybe also like looking at different platforms like maybe Coursera or DX that do quizzes to kind of get a feel for what you would need. And like Flo said, if you have like conditions and stuff like that, then I think the multi-step form could be something you want to look at. But if it's just like a multiple answer quiz, like just a bunch of questions, then I think
Yeah,
could be.
in terms of structure, the best practice here is to create one variable where you're going to save all your answers. So this is really important for you to then use this data somewhere to save it into your backend and so on. So, and then the UI can be anything. The goal of the UI would be just to edit that variable.
Mhm.
And it could be through a multi-step form, through just really one page, through multi-pages also. But in the end, you would just update that variable and use the values on this variable.
Does that make sense?
This variable.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. I will definitely give that a try. Yeah, I
Awesome.
think
Yeah, no ready-made element yet. But as you know, we are going to release the
But I
marketplace.
like I like the use case very much,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
could
me too.
maybe
Me too.
be useful for us at some point if we do a certification. All right,
And
cool. Thanks a lot, Luke.
thanks,
yeah.
Joyce. Thanks a lot.
All right, so now we have Sofiane with a question, and remember, I see some questions coming in through the chat. So Mauro, don't hesitate to post your question in the Q&A. It'll be easier for us to to take things in order, but otherwise I'll try to circle back to your question later. Okay, so Sofiane has a bunch of questions as well. Uh, like now it's just bullet points. Page refresh on modal click, modal gallery scrolling, how to unpublish pages. So unpublishing pages will not be possible
Yeah.
at this stage. It's something we have in mind. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
to
something
be
that's yeah.
it's in the pipe. I don't know. It's not we don't have a date yet, but this is
Yeah.
in the pipe for this to put a status for pages so you can decide if it goes to production or not. This is
Okay.
something we are going to work on this year for sure. I don't know if it's going to be Q2 or Q3, something like this. But for sure, this is something we are going to work on.
I
And
look
then,
forward to it for my personal projects as well.
yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Sofiane. Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you for having me today again. Do you hear me well?
Yeah,
Yes.
are you still in Mexico? You were in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I am. I am. I'm still here
Yes.
working. We are
Cool.
filming a villa today.
Ah,
And you,
nice.
and you
Very
want?
nice. All right. So your first question was about the page data refresh. So when you click on the modal, can you show us what happens?
Yeah. So that's something that happens mainly when I'm on a Chrome browser on a mobile version.
Can you share your WeWeb screen instead of our faces, please?
Ah, sorry. So I've recorded a video since it's not really a replicable things that
Okay. Okay.
so here is the recording. So I select here the dates. Oh no, sorry. I go this is not the live version. I search, I go to the villa page and yes, okay, I'm on the villa page. I open this and here it's the calendar. let's say if I want to refresh or select other dates, and here I can select guest. So those two elements are modals. And sometimes when I'm on a Chrome browser, I click on the dates like here, and puff, it refresh, and I lose all of my information. So I have no clue. I have no clue on how to fix that.
And you said sometimes because you haven't figured out when it happens, right?
Mm,
Or sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, is what you're saying, or?
ouais, exactly. For instance, if I'm here, I go to Villa Mariola. Hop là, sorry. I go to a villa, let's say this one. Okay, I open. I select my dates
Your
like
app
that.
looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I click, and like this time it works nicely. I have nothing. It's perfect.
And
Uh,
did you experience it on the mobile phone?
yeah, only when I'm on the phone. On the browser version, I have no problem at all.
Okay.
So maybe something with the PWA, I guess.
PWA.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, I really don't know.
Okay.
Could you create a ticket so the tech team could take a look and send your video in there and anything you could help the team to reproduce the issue.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I have a sessions I can record with the inspector open because maybe
That
it's
would be amazing.
very,
why.
really great
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah,
Okay.
that would be
I
amazing.
have no clue because I've never seen something like this before.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I cannot help you right now, but the best way is to just create a ticket and the team will definitely take a look.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice. Just before we get to your next question, I'll answer quickly because Bertrand had a question. He's saying, I wonder what happened with the new data grid, which was announced for last week. So it wasn't a data grid. We released the grid. So we can maybe demo it if we have a little bit of time. We'll demo it at the end of the session. But we did not plan to release a new data grid. We plan to release the CSS grid, which is a layout CSS layout option, and that was released on Wednesday.
You
Just to
can check
clarify that.
property, Bertrand.
Yeah, the display property. And Sofiane, so you had also a question about what's the process for enabling scrolling within a modal gallery?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. I've decided to switch on our new version for a modal and not a gallery page to display the villa pictures because the modal is it's very sleek with the transitions, etc. I think there is no need to go to a page loader and switch the page. And so here it is. So when I click on that, I opened this modal, and this modal is on top of the mother page. And from the community forum, what I've gotten is to add on close and open modal JavaScript, sorry, script that updates the auto flow to this element, the element on the top, to be able to scroll, which works very nicely now. And if I'm on the header, I'm not. See, I'm still scrolling. Think I didn't take into account. But my goal is to click on this element, which is the menu, by the way, of the villa. It's the div of the villa to go to the
The property.
according section.
Okay.
Before, when I'm on, let's say, a normal page, like how it was before, it works very, it was working very nicely before. Maybe I changed something.
Yeah, maybe shows how so what's inside the modal? Yeah, so you were using IDs.
Yeah, exactly. I think my friend touched to this. Yeah, exactly. And
And
so
so if you
for
go back to your modal,
yep,
because I think now we added a navigate to action of workflows. I
okay.
think you don't need JavaScript anymore, but I'm not
Ah,
100% sure.
d'accord.
Um, Now for this use case, I think you still need to, because it's not a real section idea.
Oh, because we don't, okay, because we can't do it by container. We can't have a container ID. Scroll to a container ID. So here, for
So
example, are the bedrooms and you have so this is your modal. Everything is in there. And
yeah,
on your bedrooms container, for example, do you have an ID?
yeah, I do.
Okay. And
Location, I do, and introduction, I do,
so
and
Flo, you think with these IDs, we would be able to scroll to these container IDs?
we can, but use one line of JavaScript.
okay. So before I was using this. So here it's to update the underline of those little things,
Sure.
and this it's to scroll to. So
Okay.
what I do initially on the gallery page is that I do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Document get element by ID. Now I think it was something like that. I was because I
And
tried to go on the top of the document using the get front document
mm-hmm.
because it's a modal.
Okay, so it wasn't working, right? This one.
This one
So,
will
so
check.
yes, okay, could you go back to the workflow?
Yeah.
Okay, so here you see you create a function, but you don't call it. So something you can. So can you open? Yes, can you open it in a? Yes. So you can remove. Ah no, you call it at the end.
Yeah.
Scroll. Okay, scroll element. Scroll to element. Okay, so can you scroll to the top? I think there is a document. Yes. So yes, indeed, in here you need to remove document and replace it by www, the actual document.
Uh,
Dot get front document, and you need to open and close parentheses. Okay, like this. And okay, let me check quickly the function. And same for window. You see window
uh-huh.
below. Need to remove b window and wwlib dot get front window and with parentheses too. And so now this should work.
Same thing for the page offset. Page Y offset, you have window as well.
Oh yes, true.
Above.
True.
Okay. Okay.
Can you give it a
I
trace? Oh,
I
sorry.
get. Mm, this is not working.
Okay, let me check quickly. Okay, what I'm going to find the proper JavaScript to do that. I have this
Yeah.
somewhere, so I can just
So,
message,
Sofiane, can you
Yep.
create a topic in the community
Ouais, for sure.
and yeah, tag me and I'll uh, so I don't forget. And if I forget, tag me again. Sorry, no,
Okay.
I'm having trouble with my notifications at the moment, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was
Great questions as always.
very nice.
Thanks
Have
a
a
lot
great
for
day.
joining.
Bye bye.
You too. I'm trying not, yeah. I don't want to. In the past, I've kicked out some attendees when I remove them as panelists, so I'm trying not to repeat the same mistake. Okay, so John is saying no need to spend more than a minute on this, nor screen share, but I did a rollback of my editor earlier today, and it's taking almost an hour to restore. Is this normal? What is the typical time? I don't think it's normal. I've never. No, it's not normal. Can you create a support ticket with a link to with a link letting us know which project you're trying to roll back to and which version you want, so we can investigate. But no, it should be okay, cool. Thanks a lot, John. It should be almost instantaneous. In my experience, I don't know how huge the project is, but all right, so now we have Kent. Let me add you as a panelist. So Kent is saying, in the beginning of implementing a third-party API, Reddit OAuth. Very cool. I take the user to Reddit authorization page, and when the user authorizes, Reddit redirects the user back to my web app with the approximate format, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Hey, Kent.
Hi, Joyce. So I think it's a pretty basic question, but kind of hard to
OAuth
control.
is never basic. OAuth is
Okay,
always very
good.
confusing, in my opinion.
Thank you. So I've gotten to where I'm working, as you can tell, on this API, Reddit API, which is a backwater of the internet, apparently. And I've figured out how to interact with it on Xano, but I haven't been able to figure out how to grab something from the URL that it redirects me back to. And so it looks like I can't see the question anymore now that oh, here you go. Cute. No. Well, you can see the format it gives. It redirects user back to my WeWeb editor page, and I figured out how to flip back and forth between the editor redirect and the live version, but I don't know how to grab that code.
I think you're missing a question mark in the URL format you shared. I think it probably says question mark token equal. And so to capture it, you would need to create a query variable in WeWeb that is called token, exactly like it's written in the URL. So in the URL format you shared, it's token all on
So it's not,
lowercase.
the first example, if you flip down a couple of questions, I updated it and I gave the actual Reddit redirect URL. So that's a better, more reliable, and it's code equals and then a long string.
Okay, so then you need to name your query variable code.
Okay.
So you see in the URL you shared,
Yep.
so there's just for actually maybe let me check if I can share something useful here.
And I guess
just
I
need
could, I'll let you drive.
I don't know if I have a good example of query strings. Let me see in the so it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the exact same use case, but well, actually, let me share.
But in the end, you need to create a variable just of type query with the same name, and it will be updated automatically.
Yeah, so if you have yeah, so you see in this example, it's a different example. This is a reset password example with Exano, but when you set up a reset password flow with Exano SendGrid, you get a URL. So it's similar to yours. When you see a question mark like this, it means it's a query string. So whatever comes afterwards is a query string, and the query name is, in this case, is token, and then the value is what's behind the equal. So in your case, it's here, it says code, and you're
Right.
trying to capture the value of code. So in WeWeb, you will
And does
need
it make a
to,
difference if in the URL it doesn't actually have a question mark?
You
oh,
need
it
the
should have a question mark. It should have a question mark, and
but you have. I think I get what you
the
mean.
one you shared, it does have a question mark.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
sorry,
So
you wanna?
look at the I updated my question a couple of,
Yeah, and it has a question mark.
I don't see it. Oh yeah,
It's
there it is. Before
so
state.
39
Sure.
question mark
Right.
state.
Wait, then you've got and code because you can have multiple variables in here,
Yeah.
and if you need to add a second variable, you need to add this and then the name of
Okay,
your
so where you started, you went to data and then
So
you created
yeah,
a new
so
variable.
here I'm in data,
Mm-hmm.
variable new. I
Got
will
it.
say code because that's the query string I'm interested in, and I will select query.
Okay, good.
And I leave the default value empty, and I'll create it. And then I can't remember how to capture it. If you have it
Yeah.
here, so
now you can add it
oops,
in the editor. It should work.
sorry, what did you say?
In here in the editor, in the URL, if you add the
Yeah.
question mark, really in the URL. No, your
Oh,
real
here.
here.
Yeah, but I mean for his workflow to capture it. You know, when he is redirect. So basically, when someone lands on the page,
Mm-hmm.
it will automatically, if there's something that says code equal blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
if someone lands on the page like this,
Mm-hmm.
here the value will automatically be captured.
So when you named it, Joyce, that the name of it wasn't arbitrary. If you name it consistent with the word
Yeah, it
code.
needs to be this. So if I change this to codes and say blah blah,
Uh-huh. It can't find it.
Exactly.
it should not be able to. No, it can't find it anymore.
Okay, got it. Got it. So I go to variables, create a new variable, name it carefully, the name of whatever I'm getting in my query, select type equals query, and then whenever the user lands on that, it'll automatically populate that variable.
Yeah, and so that variable you can use to, I'm guessing you'll need to do something with it inside your project too.
And I've got that part. So separate question then, just if you look at my URL, this was really hard to figure out, but apparently I needed to drop the trailing pound sign and underscore of the code when it was returned to me. Is that just something really idiosyncratic to this particular Reddit OAuth, or is that a common thing in codes?
So
For me, it's sorry, go ahead.
you always have this this trailing. I mean this dash and underscore at the end.
That are you asking me?
Yes. Is it something you
Yes.
already?
So every time I generate a code, the code it gives me is a long string, and consistently it has this pound sign, or is it pound
Yeah.
sign and underscore. And then through hours of Googling, someone said I fixed the problem. Obviously, I needed to drop the pound sign and underscore. And I was thinking that's not documented anywhere. Maybe that's just a Java something odd thing that people know to do. Is that something y'all have ever heard of as a common thing to include at the end of codes?
It's not common to do it. I mean, for
Okay.
something like this, but it's easy to do within the editor if you need to for your specific case. So if you need to do that, you can go to the form. Yeah, perfect. So can you just create a text variable, Joyce, so we could.
Want to split it or chart?
Yes, in text in here you've got I think for you, if it's always like this, I mean, if it ends always with this pound sign and underscore, I think it's not split. Maybe split is better. You're right, because we could split with this dash. No, because if you have it in the code, it won't work. So you just need to remove the two last letters, basically.
Yes.
So I
I
think
don't need
right.
to find them. I just need to remove the last two.
I think
Yeah.
it's
So let me copy this. So you have this.
And
And you
because
want
of
to
your
trim end.
variable, I won't have that whole thing. I'll just have the code thanks to your query.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This.
Uh-huh.
you would have something like this indeed. And the best way to do this, give me a second, just to be sure.
We have the end index say -2 for subtext.
Yes, I think it's subtext. We need to yes.
Let me try.
Could you add this one in a variable? It would be much more easier for us.
Oh, sorry. I started sharing my screen, but maybe you want to share yours, Ken, so you get to do it.
It's okay.
I don't want to take any more time than
Don't
you
worry.
guys.
Nice use case. Let's create it in a variable. It would be much more easier, so we could have the length of the text.
Okay. The codes. Here we go.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, and so it's not a -2. So you can you just over the formula so I can just check the. So it's text starting index and an index. So it's the you can what
Text length.
yes. Oh yes, you can use that. It's even easier than code and -2.
There we go.
Here we go.
I'll just copy paste this for you in the chat, Kent. So you have it.
Okay.
Just make sure if you copy paste it, it might not work. Just make sure that you have the formulas. So you might need to type it in again or select the formulas again, but at least you'll have the.
So code, comma, 0, comma, text length, code. Does it need to
So
be a
this is your variable. I renamed it codes. Yours will be code, but yeah.
got it? Okay. So the text
So
length
the idea,
that
and
ends
you
up
might
being
want to spend some time hovering over the formulas to understand what's going on. Basically, we're saying we only want part of the text. We want to start on from the very beginning, but then we want to end 2 characters before. And the way we get the 2
Perfect.
characters is through this. So
Got it. And this
and
will
sorry
work
for
with-
sharing my screen. Next time I'll
that's perfect. And this will end
was-
because of the way you did it. It can handle arbitrarily lengths of strings, which is good. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I think I
And
good.
no, just to let you know, I copy pasted in the chat, but it says variable blah 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 that you'll just need to replace that with your variable. So it's a little bit ugly, but at least you get the formulas. And the replay will be on YouTube if you need to check again.
Got it. All right. That's all for me. Thank you, Joyce, and for
Awesome.
Thank you, Kent.
Thanks so much. Now let's see where I have some. Go change role to attendee. And we have Mauro coming on. Let's see, promote to analyst. And Mauro's question was, so is using integration with Postgre and MySQL safe to create a SaaS, or is it only suitable for internal environments? I believe we have documentation and a warning in app about this, but it's a great question and it can't hurt to talk about it live.
I can. Do you want to take it, Joyce, or?
No, I'll let you. I was I'm just
Okay.
gonna try to promote. Well, I don't know I can say, it's for an internal
Yeah.
environment, and it was built that way. And in general, it's not great practice anyway to go directly to your. Oh, you don't speak English. That's fine. Don't worry. So um we'll let you be, and we'll answer you here. Yeah. So you want to quiz me, Flo? I can try. So
No, I cannot. I don't want to do that to you. I can do it. Now, for SaaS, as this is public, you're exposed to potential um, malicious intentions from anyone. And when you connect a front end directly to a database, and when you are using our plugin, your credentials are saved. I mean, those credentials will be on a microservices dedicated for that will take your query, enrich your query with your credentials to get the data, and then send it back. So the users won't find the credentials, but they are going to be able to do any request to your database. So if you need role and permissions and so on, it will be extremely difficult for you to maintain in this database. And as you can query anything, it's not a good practice to do that for a public app. It's nice for internal tools because normally your users won't try to hurt the company. But for a public application, it's really not a good practice. You need a backend for that to protect your data, and so you won't expose your database directly to the front end. So you'll be able to create your own endpoints and and manage really easily the permissions, the access to this database. If you don't want to create a database, really go check Supabase for that, because Supabase is their goal is to it's a good name, Supabase, really, is to take your database and make it a bit more powerful to do those kind of things easily. Or if you don't want or cannot use Supabase for many reasons, you can take a look to PostgREST. This is what Supabase is using, by the way. It turns your database into a REST API, but kind of it creates some endpoints on top of your database automatically, and then you can use the REST API plugin instead of the SQL plugin in your front-end application, and it's a lot better for security reasons. So
Sofiane is asking the name of it. I didn't catch
yeah,
that either. Did
I
you mean
cannot
PostgreSQL?
I cannot write to everyone. I don't know why today, so let me send it to you, Joyce.
PostgREST, is that?
Yes, exactly.
Let me share my screen and you can tell me if it's the right one.
It was grs.org, if I remember it well.
So it's
Yes,
this one? Okay,
that's it.
cool.
And for the more
Share it in the
technical
chat.
view, you can also share the link of a repository we have. Give me a second. Okay. So I send it to you, Joyce. And this is a GitHub repository that you can take a look to it if you need to deploy your own infrastructure for this. On this one, you've got a Docker compose using a database. On top of it, a PostgREST, and for the purpose of this exercise, a WeWeb front-end application that I exported inside.
Oh, and sorry, I hadn't seen. I'm also pasting the code for the scroll that we saw with Sofiane earlier. And just Maro is asking, will this always be this way, or could it change in the future, improving security?
No, we won't improve it soon. We talked about it in the team to create a dedicated microservices to tackle this subject, but it won't be easy for this year. So if we tackle this subject I think it won't be before 2025. Because it's a backend feature, and right
Yeah,
now
that's what I was gonna ask, because it's not really our
goal,
special our yeah,
we
our
are
goal is to
and we know you are not the only one asking for this, but as we really want to nail really the front end part is, and as you all may know, we still have a lot of work to do. So that's why we prefer to be really focused on this. So you still can use the SQL plugin, but really for internal tools, not for public purposes. If you do that, please use a backend tool like Xanos, Spybase, or you want one with Postgres. It's a lot better, and it's a really good practice. It's not.
Yeah, because I think that's a key part that I mentioned it because you explained it to me last week, but that's one of the key parts. I think that it's not just about security, it's also about best practice. So even if we worked on that feature to add that security, you would still not need that. You would still have that issue of not having the API shield in front of the database.
Right.
So, and Maro is saying Cloudflare has a service, Hyperdrive. Maybe it could be a good integration. Oh, cool. I'll share it with Flo. I'll translate it in French and it's in Brazilian, so but I'll share the link with Flo. Thanks a lot, Maro. All right, we have another question from Adam this time. So Adam, I'm gonna promote you to panelist. That's okay with you. And it's a pagination question. We have a lot of pagination questions. It's not an easy topic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you both. Thank you for the work that you've done in creating WeWeb, and always been there to support and look forward. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for trusting us.
Yeah, I went through a few platforms, and this one was the best. So, yeah, appreciate your help. Today, I've been struggling a little bit with pagination, so essentially when I get to the last page, it changes to infinity and won't let me proceed. I'll share my screen so you can
Yep, cool.
understand it. So I'll just filter by one state so you see. So it works up to a point. It can take me. Can you see either way? For example, there it changed this number to 22. Whenever I get to the last page, it then changes to infinity here, and there's 1, 2, and dot dot dot. And I work with a guy on Xano, and he said it's a WeWeb problem, so thought I'd jump on to ask what I should do.
Well, first of all, congratulations. It's the first time I see this. And I've seen a lot of pagination questions.
So not proud of
Do you
that
want to show
title.
us maybe in editing mode? Can you show us what the pagination looks like?
So this is total items. Just let me know when you want me to stop.
Well, for example, can you explain that first formula? Why is
Oh,
the item total depending?
yeah. So I've got a list of 4,000 hospitals that I've ranked based on their performance. And I want to push people to sign up to the app. So in order to view the complete list and be able to search through it, I want them to sign up. So I've only allowed signed in users to be able to view everything.
So this is bound to the, can you show us the collection, what it's bound to exactly? It looks okay, it looks fine. No, so, sorry, if you go back to in the formula.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to collections and unfold the hospitals 7 collection,
Yeah.
it looks fine. So that's the items total. So that's looks okay, right, Flo?
Did you try to select the collection?
Sorry, you cut up a little bit. Could you repeat that, please?
Did you try? You see on the right, you've got custom pagination, and you used
Yeah.
one, and did you just don't toggle it off, or at least copy paste your pagination so you won't lose your work. Could you copy paste this one, just this paginator element?
Yeah.
So we could. Yes, perfect. Can you? Normally with Zano, you don't need custom pagination. You can definitely just select the collection. Could you toggle it off and select Hospital 7, the collection you see below custom pagination, you've got collection.
Yeah.
And you should be able to select Hospitals 7. Okay, and this one that does not work. Okay, can you? I think it's because of the. I think I saw result 1 or something like this. Could you show me the collection on the left, the data, please?
Yeah.
Yes, result 1.
Here.
Okay, so I think it's because it's called result 1. Could you call it just result?
Is that on Xano?
So it would be in Xano. Yeah, in Xano, you would want Xano to return result.
Oh, okay.
But it's a good thing because I think I never saw that before, and I would forget that it should be an option. But maybe in here, if you rename it to result,
This one? Okay.
this one, normally it should work automatically. Let's try again.
So I come back here.
And it does
You refresh the page. Sorry.
Yes. I don't know why that's. Yeah.
And we broke everything because we changed the key. Okay, go back to Zano, put again the
maybe
one.
I need to change it. Okay, I'll go back to Xano.
Yes, so we won't break it, and we should make it work.
No, wait, because the binding was still on result 1, so there's a.
Yeah.
Wait, put one again.
No.
Yeah. So we so we won't break what you did. And we will
Okay.
make it work. Could you show us the bindings?
Yeah, so this binding?
We do have data now. Yes, this one. Okay, so in here, item totals. Okay, can you show me item on the right? The custom page.
Sorry.
This one. In the other parts.
Offset.
Yes, the number of items received should not be there, I don't think. Because then if you're at on the last page, you don't necessarily really receive 6.
You're right, Joyce.
Here it should be the number that a fixed number that Xano returns.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
on Xano, I don't know what you decided.
Yeah, I had it as 6. So
Okay.
I think I've tried that. I'll double check. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's still kind of playing
It's still
about.
kind of buggy. And
Okay, definitely.
did you go through the documentation we have on custom pagination? Because we use Xano as an example.
Yes, I think I set this section up as the instructions. Over here as well.
So let me check. So in the offset, what do you have in the binding?
So here I've got the paginator page -1 multiplied by items received.
Could you send me a private message on the community?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
I don't think I'll just share with you the documentation we have on backend pagination, because with Xano, we suggest that for the offset, you just you need to bind per number of, I mean, it would be, yeah, it's not exactly that setting, so I just share the docs in the chat in case it can help as well.
Okay.
But if you're stuck, if you're still stuck, don't hesitate to create a new topic in the community as well, because pagination is tricky. I mean, so it's completely understandable.
Yeah, it's
Okay, thank you.
check the documentation and otherwise create a topic in the community or reach out privately with the editor and a way to reproduce, and we could take a look to help you.
Okay, great. Thank you both. Have a good day.
Yes.
Welcome.
Bye.
Right. All right, and I see Surav, you have your hand raised. If you have a question, don't hesitate to post it in the Q&A section. We only have a few minutes left, so we might not have time for yours. Everybody's raising their hand. All right. So Zachary has a question. Let me promote you to panelist. And Surav, again, like we started about 15 minutes ago, so we will prioritize the people who asked their question when they arrived in the Q&A.
Unmute. Ah,
Yeah,
hi.
there you go.
Hello. So don't worry, it will be very quick, and it doesn't need, I think, to share my screen. Basically, I have an input field that is long text, and what I would like to do is to allow users to command enter in order to go into the line below without triggering the key enter trigger key request workflow. It's just a quickie. But I don't know if there is a simple way, or I will need to go into a more custom thing.
Right now, you need to use JavaScript to do it. But as we wish to normalize things and give you all the standard events and triggers, this is something we are going to work on pretty soon to give you more triggers, and so you could trigger some workflow with any keyboard when you use your keyboard. So this is something we are going to no codify, kind of, to productize, let's call it like this, soon. But right now you need to use some JavaScript to do it. So you need to create a listener on the with some JavaScript on the page at the page level to listen to this event and then use this event to select something else. So this is some work to do. So
it's workable, I think.
okay.
Last micro thing, it's about like light and dark mode. I don't know. It's released.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Okay,
even
okay.
documented.
So basically, I have a question concerning the color libraries and how it's done. It's not very practical if I want to use, let's say, background color that I define as white, but in dark mode I want to be FC, for example, or something like that. That is also into the color libraries. And what I would think it will be cool is that it will be cool to link like when you try to link a padding or a gap or something like that. Just
like
this.
Yeah, you'd like to compose a color with other colors, basically.
Yes, in the list like other properties.
But it is
Yeah.
something we have in mind to allow you to create your own tokens and with something like shape, let's call it like this. You create a token shape, and then you could add another color token and compose with it. So you could I think do what you would like to do. Would that solve your issue if you can create?
It's mainly for colors. Everything else.
I'm sorry, guys, but for
I
product feedback, you have to have a separate
no, it's not
conversation.
product feedback. It's okay. There is no simple
now
way
there's
to
no.
do it. Even so, I import light and dark color for the same element. Okay, no problem. No problem.
Let me find a topic on the community. You can do it right
Okay.
now. CSS
I know with back, I know that it can be done other way, but okay. Just okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
We have a question from Adam as well. How to ensure someone remains signed in if they close the tab? So in theory, the person should remain signed in if they close the tab by default. I think it's the sign in, sign out is more related to the session if it has expired, right, Flo? Or
yes,
am I
exactly.
missing?
Depends what you use for authentication. Normally it should work. I mean, if usually the token is saved in the cookie or in local storage and on many authentication systems. So so then it depends of your expiration configuration. I mean, it really depends on your backend. I don't know what you used, Adam, so you could maybe tell us what you used as a notification system or provider, so we could help you.
And the last question is by Anthony in French. So actually, Anthony, if you want answers in French, you might want to go to the No Code France community. But it's a question about filtering Airtable data. So to get only the data from one user, you could do it with a filter by formula from Airtable. We have documentation on how to use that formula in Airtable. Just be aware that it's not secure. It's more of a UI and experience than security, because any I mean, I wouldn't know how to do it, but Flo would know how to get information from other users by tweaking your query. So it's not yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. We wouldn't recommend it. And but there's information about that in the user docs for that. So let me pull it up for you.
Luke sent it already.
Oh, Luke sent it.
This is the one. So Zachary, you can click the Luke link, and with this one you could do what you wish, I think.
Oh, sorry. So that's the one for Zachary. Let me share the documentation for Airtable. The filters by formula and a little bit of an explanation as to why it's not secure. All right, so those are all the questions for the Q&A, and I'm sorry, Surav, we do have to jump off. I haven't seen any posts in the community. If you want to create a post in the community and tag me, I will do my best to answer you as best I can. If you want to record a short video to help us understand your issue, that would work great. And there we go. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate you being here. We do our best to answer all your questions. If we weren't able to get to yours, please don't hesitate to post in the community, and we'll do our best to be there for you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, and see you next week. Bye.